let's witness our past week. Let's feel into what was really good and what was maybe not so good. Let's try to understand where we are going by reviewing the past, right? Now this video is about going more into the heights, which is about going into the possibilities to explore your life further, going into the unknown territory on where you could potentially go. And this also involves a lot of a change. It involves to leave things behind and to actually see how we are playing the way of life, how we are dealing with situations. And what I mean by that is that whenever we are interacting with people, or when we are alone, like, how do you treat yourself? What is the voice you're hearing? Is that voice heavy? Is that voice nice? Is it friendly? What do you tell yourself every single day? What are you talking to with other people? Are you actually, is your higher self or your mature self often in the driver's seat, or might it be your little self that is complaining not to be heard? It's not a bad thing that your little self is like present and like, you know, interrupting you all the time. And it can play out as well in conversations where we all of a sudden feel unseen, unheard, right? Where we feel like this person is not respecting me, I don't feel respected. We start to judge, we start to view that person that they trigger us. So basically it's their fault, right? They are doing something, and that actually gives me the allowance to get like anger outbursts or to really snap at people. We need to understand that we need to take ownership of how we are doing, how we are playing in this life. And this is not about blaming finger, and it's not about, hey, you're doing your life wrong. It's about making a choice that is actually in your highest good. And if you can say, well, I did all of that, maybe I can find similar situation where I interact the same way, where I do the same things that afterwards I know weren't in my highest good, weren't really helpful, right? This is about taking ownership of how you are doing without really saying that what they have done over there is right or wrong. It's more about, do you want to view yourself how you are interacting at this moment? Is there a way where you can explore the self in a higher way? Is there a way where you can dive more into who you truly are? Or is the little self making a little party and interacting with, interacting in a way that you don't like that much? You see, putting it down to earth, it's not always so super difficult. It's about you're moving through life and you recognize what you're actually up to. You recognize your patterns. You recognize, oh, every single time my mom says this and this, I feel this. And because of that, I so want to scream, right? I so want to have my moment. And you see, those are the things you're riding a wave in a very, very low way, because you're not your full self. Really, you are interacting based on an old experience, and you feel the right even to talk like that, to speak like that, to be maybe very mean to people because you feel like this is what they've done to me. I want to say this is not a conversation where we are dismissing when someone is treating you crap. Please go and move away. This is not about that. This is about there is someone coming, they trigger you, and you kind of take this trigger, you kind of point the finger to them saying, hey, the way what you just said is actually meeting my total explosion on something other people would not even look at, would not even do anything. So it's always the question, is this really me? Who is interacting here? Do I want to show up like that? Is that really something that I want to be seen for? Do I really want to be seen for, I don't know, that crazy girl who goes all over the place, right? Trying to find her way, screaming, or maybe being super bossy, being aggressive, right? This passive aggressiveness. And start to rethink, maybe there is a more gentle way. Maybe there is a more easier way for me to express myself. How could I do that? How could I express myself in a safe way where I do feel peace? Because the baseline is you don't want to interact out of fear. So if you're interacting in those really high emotional states, you may possibly have like those experiences where you are really high on your emotions, right? You're taking your emotions for kind of like for the right to interact in a rude way or to be a certain way. And then afterwards you kind of feel ashamed, or you may even be like, why is no one getting it? Like, this person was very, very mean. And you see, if not everybody else finds the way how you interact or the way how that other person interacts mean, it also means that there might be an other reality that you are not able to see, where people are saying, okay, I can hear you, I see what you're up to, I see why you feel that way. But I probably wouldn't react that way, because for me, what he just said was just disrespectful, but pretty much like I can skip, right? So the way how you react is very, very crucial, because if you interact or if you are reacting on a very high emotion, then you may consider that this is your little self playing out. And you may actually want to call the higher self in to understand why you're interacting like that. You see, get the mama bear here, get the wise self in to show you how you could possibly heal yourself. How can you heal from something that you don't know you have it? By ask your body how you can heal something you don't even know was there. Maybe you know something is off, but because you're living with it for so long, you don't even know that that's not the normal thing, right? And what is normal besides that? But maybe you start to recognize, okay, I want to live different. So if I want to live different, I have to change the course, right? Your older, wiser self needs to be in the driver's seat. And if you let the small self all the time like play out, you may not get there, because your small self is doing what it always has done and trying to survive and trying to still be present for pretty much all costs. So, to make a little laugh here and to laugh at yourself is so crucial. It's not about punishing yourself after you recognize that your behavior really sucked, or the way how you feel is maybe not really good. See, what you're saying most often when you are totally screaming and like having your outburst, your anger outburst, is like, hey, I don't feel seen. This is the message from the little self. It's like, I'm not feeling seen, and I feel put in place where I feel unsafe, and I'm trying to find my safety. And the way how I do that is by really screaming and kind of trying to putting the other person in place so I can feel safe, right? But that's not about that. Feeling safe within doesn't mean I'm putting someone else down, or I'm being mean to someone else. It actually means that we are trying to play a new role, a role that might be really in the child's shoes, where you're trying to figure out, okay, how do I want to show up? How do I want to show up for myself? How can I be more me? How can I be more of myself? And every single day, practice that. How can I step more into my wise self? How can I be more myself, where I feel happy for who I am? And when a situation comes up that feels uncomfortable, maybe take a step back. If you're in the middle of the conversation, you may actually excuse yourself and say, listen, let me actually go through those things again, and I get back to you. There are so many ways that you can do. You never have to interact right away with someone that you feel so stressed. If someone is stressing you so much, maybe it's from your family, someone, maybe it's at the work, maybe it's with your friends, whatsoever, you can always pause. You can say, listen, it's not the right time. I might need a couple of minutes to really understand, and then I get back to you. Give yourself the time to step back and to realize, okay, it's okay. I don't need to be super present here and now. I can actually step back, and I do it for myself mostly, but because I'm doing it for myself, and that is in my highest good, I'm doing it also for the other people, not to snap at them, not to be someone I don't want to be, right? I own that to myself, that I'm trying to be the best version I can. And if that means I'm stepping back for a couple of minutes, maybe a day, I'm going to do that every single time. You need to back up yourself, back up when you feel unseen, unheard, not recognized for who you are. Most often it's because you are not recognizing yourself. You don't see yourself. You don't see that you feel very shaky. Walking on eggshells is not a nice feeling, but it is there because you're not backing yourself up. And I don't mean that you need to be independent and do everything by yourself. And if you're not capable in doing everything by yourself, you fail and blah, blah, blah. You know that. I don't mean that. That's not what this is for, okay? Being independent is one thing. Asking for support is another thing, and both of it have its value. So this is about doing what you can to support yourself. And you're not supporting yourself if you having your tantrum. Nothing is going to change. There is no one who is actually saving you, right? That's not going to come. And this is also from the little self, where we want to be saved. We want to someone come and kind of save us. you're saving yourself because you hold so much power within, you hold so much forgiveness and power of who you are within, that nobody else is capable to do that. You see, when you start to wake up to that reality, when you start to see, actually, I created all of that. Actually, I was doing all of that. I was creating my life until now, and I'm trying to somehow survive, but it's not really working really well. You take ownership, you see, you start to see that your interactions were very much complementing the life that you are currently having. And so this is not about it's your fault. It's about, how do you do life? Are you ready to step up? Are you ready to do different? Are you ready to shed your skin? You see, I'm doing that still daily. I'm shaking off old things still. And it's because those kind of behaviors we have needs to be unlearned. You need to drop it in a conscious way. You drop it because you know, hey, this is not who I am anymore. Consciously choosing, you choose. And while you're choosing, you say, okay, I am actually a lovely person. I am a person someone can have fun with. I don't want to show up this or that. So, how do you want to be in this life? How do you want to show up? Do you want to live a life where you feel you are tapping into your highest potential? Does that mean you're not having a bad day? Heck no. Heck no. You will have bad days. You will have days where you're not feeling the greatest. That's totally normal, you see. Not feeling sad, that's really weird. I mean, you will, right? You will, because things are coming up and they show up, and that's totally normal. But you may actually skip the long feeling sad, you skip that because you start to recognize, okay, I'm in charge of this. I can't feel sad because this really hurts me. And I give myself the moment to really drop into that. You see, I let it come up and I let it go again, right? Letting go of an emotion is so, so helpful. Viewing it, feeling it, seeing it, and not just shutting it down is very, very crucial. All right, so with this said, there will be a monthly membership coming soon. I don't know when the publishing date will be exactly, so if you're interested, then have a look into below description box. What we will do there is we will take steps into what we work on every single month. And it will be quite open, so it will be according to where you want to go. It's not so much about me or about the group or whatsoever. It will be whatever supports you will be the topic for you. So that's where we all dive into ourselves the best. I start to explore who I am. I start to look into who I am and where I want to go. And probably you don't know where you want to go yet, right? And the thing is, we all don't. We all don't. It's like I'm tapping into, oh, this breadcrumb comes to this breadcrumb. And that one is coming next, you see. It's also about like not living the 10 years plan. That's great, but actually, I mean, if you heard my story before, it never worked for me. So I'm not living that way. I do have some kind of plans on who I want to be or how I want to show up. But I don't have it in terms of, oh, in 10 years, if I'm not having, I don't know, this and this apartment, I'm going to feel this or that. Many people make plans like this. I feel it's very an old plan, I feel. And for me, that never worked. So with that said, lovely. It was great to be here with you. Take what resonates, leave the rest. It's always so crucial to not feel, I don't get it, like I need to make this my own. And no, you don't. If you don't feel it, you don't feel it, and that's totally okay. You see, that's totally okay. All right, thanks and bye.